Hi there and welcome to my channel. This is Kate in the Nest saying I am so glad that you're here with me. I bet you can guess if you know me what I'm about to say. That's right. I am so excited. It's morning time. I've had an incredible week, but I have declared today a pajama day, which means that I'm going to just stay home. Better not let you peek those. And I'm going to make, I wish I could say bake, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to stitch and journal and crochet and catch up on all my projects. I started new ones this week and you've probably looked at that. So how are you? I hope you have that same sense of excitement about the weekend if it gives you more time to make, and if it doesn't and you're watching this later, just know that I am thinking of you, sending blessings, and just a reminder, as we were talking this week, I do this to be part of this community, to share my work, to hear back from you, and yeah, just rejoice in the well-being that stitching gives us. So this is, I always pause, Roxy Creations Journal of Stitchery, Volume 6, Field Notes. So a little bit of context. Kate will slow down her talking because she's beyond excited, as you can hear. I've gathered, I'm like a bowerbird. I've been here and I've been doing a bit of stitching this morning in another room, and now I've just sort of gathered all sorts of squishy things together. So where are we going to start? A little bit of a recap to put us in perspective. Field notes, we're in spring, we've done spring bulbs, and we're up to the nest this week. And it was so gorgeous of many of you who said, as soon as you heard that announcement, you thought of me and the nest, because of course, Kate is all about the nests and that sense of, you know, home and sanctuary and birth and creation and all of those things. So we're going to work in my second accordion journal. On here I have some cards, birdie cards that I got this week on beautiful paper. I'm going to be using them in my field notes paper journals, but there may be a place. I'm thinking, look at that. For me, that, it's not a nest, but I love that image there. So that's a bit of inspiration. I also got an order, a small order from Rachel this week, and there's some earthy tones and some font on here that I'm thinking it might be time to use. And at the same time, I know a few of you were worried about what would happen to this journal that I started and said I would use again. So I have been inspired, so I'm going to tell you right now, I love this page and I don't like this page as much. But because we were at the Green Door Studio this week and we've been making needle books and all sorts of projects, I've just had the inspiration this morning. We never waste anything. And as Beck from Sobe said, it's probably been sort of good that I've showed what it feels like to start a project and then not be completely happy with it and not start again, but have that sense that, you know, there's still work to be done. So I've just cut this because I'm thinking that that could be the new cover. I took some, my new oh, have I got this in here? I don't know whether I have. I took this needlebook up to show my mum and make her feel happy because it was pink. And she said, you use that flower all the time, which is true because it makes me happy. So let's take this little brooch off that I bought in San Diego. We may go all around the world today, everyone, so just be prepared. When Kate's had a good sleep and in her jammies and in her nest, who knows what will happen. So I'm thinking this will become a different book. So we still have this beautiful page in the braid. I've got some things nice happening there. I love this stitching on the back, which is originally intended to go that way. Actually, maybe we'll do it here. Who knows? But just as I said, I share that. There are no mistakes in slow stitching. We just continue to evolve. And similarly, I will harvest all of these little bits back. Maybe not that daffodil that looks like a wasp and not that birdie, but this beautiful bit. Okay, so be reassured. They are still in my garden. Oh, and in fact, that's an idea that, okay, I'll stay on track. So that's Accordion Journal 1 Field Notes. Where are we up to now? Thrilled to hear about the nest as a prompt. So immediately my mind went to some feathers that I bought for my journals really early in this year. So that's a bit literal, but they feel beautiful. And I'm thinking that something here might just provide the pop to spotlight. I've used them many times and there's many things to go. In my going back and forth this week, I have managed to misplace my little tiny bulb with the roots on it, but that's just to remind you I haven't forgotten. I've worked a little bit on the cover, and I think my journaling influence is coming through more and more. So I had this little pocket that I'd made previously for a journal. I've popped that on the front, and I'm thinking again as a curiosity, as a story within a story. I can be putting little things in there. So, and one of those, if I move over here, is this idea. I would like to integrate some of the stories of Edith Holden onto journaling cards. Here's this picture of her where she looks quite pensive and sad, but I'll put them onto something, and somewhere they will go in the journal. Like I could fold that right now and put that in there, but I won't because it could be better on a card. But I hope you got the idea. This was gifted to me this week, this most beautiful vintage yo-yo or Suffolk pup. It's coming apart at the side, so I've just tucked it there. So every time I work in this journal, I think of the giver, the gift, and the whole context. Okay, here we go, everyone. I know some of you were worried that Colourful Kate was disappearing in this particular journal. Well, I can tell you she's back. She's been busy. Here's the hyacinth bulb with some new doily roots on this morning. Oh, excuse me, see? Overly excited, using all my voice. So that goes in there with the baby bulb with roots, but I can't find it at the moment. I've done quite a lot of work on this garden, and then I'm going to do the big reveal. So again, I started with a very neutral beigey natural colour. I'm going to turn this into a bulb, not with a puffy one, but just to remind us that that is spring. I found some doilies this week out at the Green Door with daffodils on them, so they're there. Another doily. I'm starting to lose track of where I get the pieces, so I filled this, so we're starting to have, I thought hyacinth leads to blue, to the actual daffodils. These are the first ones I've been really happy to put in here. Puffy daffodil, tulip, more flowers, raised. So I've gone over and over these, and they're leading on to, I'll move that nest out of the way for a minute, onto this spread. So when I left you last time, it was this piece of Rachel's fabric that had just arrived, and I twisted it over, folded it, not twisted it, over the page. And in the meantime, I've put these crochet flowers under here, which are forming a little bit of a tag at the moment. So today's spread, we're going to talk about the nest. They're there from me trimming Edith's picture up. So needless to say, I'm very, very happy already and enjoying. So I've started to work on the nest, and how I did that, this was a new doily, like not new, but I think this was, it definitely was a Zoe vintage crochet. She had some for sale out there this week, and I loved this, if you can see inside, this pattern. I thought for a nest that was beautiful. And here I am going not so much 3D, but maybe that is 3D, sticky outy, and I've folded that doily over, and then I've put a piece of fabric in here, and it's sort of speckled. So not complete yet, but that's the idea. And then to continue the theme, I have one of my favorite flowers, of course I do, and then this new little embroidery that's going to lead on to the next spread, which we don't know. So I've got 2 weeks, yeah, to work on this page, and I thought I don't know how far we'll go, but I just thought I'd share my process, which if you're a new subby, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that I have to feel and gather colours and sort of pull a nest before I work. This is old linen in this beautiful natural colour. I've had this all year. This is a Vinnie's or sewing basket. Old, what is it? Coat hanger made out of cotton. And I'm just thinking, could that be an egg or something? Some type. I'm thinking that, you know, the nest might be bound with some things threaded through. That's what I want to try. Some of my jute. I've got a little bit of leftover from my needlebook in those earthy colours. And when I went, oh my gosh, I've got to reorganise. I think I might have to actually find a little old table or something for my room where I keep all my supplies for my stitching, because it is out of control. Don't need that. I did come across this fabric that I got at the craft and quilt fair, Japanese, first purchase of something like this, and it's new and unusual for me. But these colourings here, and they sort of look, you know me, I'm not good at my flowers, but I'm thinking this blue section here might go nicely on this page. So I feel that I could commit to saying I'm feeling that if there's a bird on here, it's going to be blue. And I don't know how I'm going to do that bird, but you see what I'm thinking. And then that would marry with the blues here. This is a pink, this is the rest of this little doily trim, and I'm thinking I will put that around there, and so that links the pink. And I like this idea, I think I've told you, of the trellis. So with all of that, oh, and feathers. With all of that, what's Kate going to do first? To be honest, I do not know, but I'd like to stitch. So how about we start, now this Japanese, I have never used fabric. I don't know whether it tears or not, so I'm just going to, I'm going to sit down actually first. I've got cottons all over the floor. I have truly out of control. I said to my husband, I have to stay home this weekend. And he said, well, tomorrow the weather is going to be so miserable and cold and windy and even wet. He said, it's a bunker in day, Kate. And that was music to my ears. I thought, that's what I need. Now, see, I just looked at, better just check. Yeah, I just looked at that tag and thought, what's that doing there? But I did deliberately leave that off because I'm hoping to get this like a messy nest, like a bower bird nest. So I've got blue there. I like my diagonals. Blue there, none there. That's why this should be blue, and maybe up here we can have the garden extending. What do you think? I'm thinking that this green could be the join between these very natural tones. So I'm just going to trim a little bit. I have to say, I've got the girls' voices in my ear where I did sound a little bit fussy on during the week when people would say, but you don't like green, and I'm just not there yet, put it that way. But this green, a natural one, not too bright, I think is good. So let's just get Kate started with, so flower to flower, I want to tuck that edge over there, and it's going to come from the back. That's the lazy way. I'm just going to do a little invisible stitch because I'm not sure how whether this will end up staying. I'm getting the feeling that it will. And how are your journals going? You happy with it? What I'm seeing on the Facebook page, so many of you have finished your nest literally within 24 hours of the girls announcing it. It just shows how much we love it. So we're raring to go, Rachel and Sarah. So I'm not at that stage yet. I think this will take me a little longer because you have to be in the right mood. And it was lovely to actually relax with it last night and then wake up this morning and have some ideas. But if you get stuck with ideas, just give yourself some space and some time. And I hope I'm giving you an example of that I raced away overseas with the very colourful accordion journal, which I still love. But I got to the point where the pattern behind, I thought it's going to be just harder and harder to apply the prompt. And who knows, it's just making a bit of noise there, my scissors. I might bring one of those pages back, a whole page, and sew it in. There's an idea. Keep everything. And that's, we were laughing about that though. Keeping everything means your stash just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And literally I have a spare room that no one can actually sleep in at the moment. So I must do something this weekend about that. So you'll probably see a video, little break. Okay, forces herself to be domestic. And then another video of joy, because Kate's in a nest, etc. And this is the weekend where I'm going to start my separate playlist of crochet projects. I'm going to do a playlist now, field notes with this journal as one, and then the accordion, my beautiful. So I say beautiful because I just love working on it. It's not yet beautiful, but it's my big slow stitch field notes, flowers, flower upon flower, I'm calling it, or flower to flower, who knows. And then I have to do my field notes journals as well, because lovely people are reserving them left, right and centre, so I need to get them finished. I've loved making them and into the post. So Kate's got a lot of projects. That's why she has to stay in the jammies. You see, I'm thinking about that image. And to help me think about it, I'm just going to museum quality moments. So these, it's an Australian set of cards. On beautiful paper. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but really that is my inspiration. That's my, I'll put that up there. Okay, let's have some fun now that I've done some just simple stitching there. Let's have some fun with this nest. So talking of bowerbirds who collect, we know that birds love getting bits and pieces from everywhere. That wasn't very successful. I'm just remembering my subby who said care with the big end. Yep, that's right. Because I'm using text in this journal, I'm thinking that I'll just tear a few more first. So let's get some raw bits and then see what happens. Okay, some raggy bits of text. Let's find some. I use this all the time in my journal. I don't know whether to cut it to the right size or just do a few loops. What else have we got that we thought we might use? I've got this hessian. It's not hessian, it's linen. It's beautiful. Now because it's beautiful quality, it's not going to tear, so I'll just cut some skinny bits. Another little skinny bit. I've never done anything like this, so thank you for being with me. And as I was sharing during the week, the joy of my YouTube journey has been about finding like minds and being received with open arms and just a sense of welcome. So thank you everyone for that. Okay, let's just be a bit wild. Okay, let's do some weaving. Without any plans at all, the crochet might fall apart. So I haven't threaded this up because it wouldn't go in my needle. But the crochet doily holes sort of provide a bit of a guide. Okay, I think that's too long. Okay, let's bring this little piece of linen. It looks like a bit of hessian. Sorry, my hands are in the way. It's very, what should I say, very intense weaving a nest. Imagine the poor birds. I think they'll very love it because I'm sure every twig and piece of whatever they find makes them happy because they are building their home to welcome their young ones every season. So that's why I just worry about them when it rains. Still haven't worked out how that all works. I suppose in spring most of the trees have got their leaves back. Around here it's pretty bare. Okay, how are we going? I've got a bit of pink in there. What haven't we used? A bit of, I want the tiniest, raggiest bit. Might go a different direction. I feel it's a tiny bit thick, this text. But actually if we put it down there, the bottom there, that's sort of like another layer of the base. And what about Juju's mustard? Let's actually stitch something. Because wherever Juju is, we all feel like we're at home. So I've got these little flecks of mustard already here. I'm liking that, so we'll see if we can keep this text in place a little bit. So I'm sure you've been telling your stitchy friends if you're doing this prompt. What a fun thing to say. Oh yeah, we're working on a nest this week. I'm stitching a nest. I'm keen to see how many of you are going to make, or maybe you already have. In fact, I have seen some of these stitch some birds. So sort of got the idea that these stitches are, I want them to look like they're holding things in place but not too regular. So I'm going back to the crochet underneath. That was a bit big. Doesn't matter, I'll put a small one over the top. Oh, think Kate. And actually, why don't we use this as an opportunity to think about feathers. I feel the feathers could be down here to balance up these flowers there, maybe not two the same. Or is that silly? Because it'd be birds of the same family, wouldn't it? Doesn't matter. In fact, I'm going to turn this into a cross. Like that. Do a little stitch up. So it's like holding it in place. Down here. And then make this one a cross stitch. Oh, I like that effect. And so I'll do another one. Just leave that out there. How are we going? Can you see that? I'll bring it up here. So far we've got messy edge of doily, and then deliberately it needs to be woven down again, some jute and some mustard stitch, and the idea that we've got this it's not a canopy, and I'm going to put some feathers in there. I think for them to stay I might have to trim a little bit. So in the meantime, it's a bit so funny when you probably go, Kate, you're messy all the time, which I am, but that one there is just not right. It needs to go. Have I got a hook or something? Yes, I have. I can weave it in. Oh, there we go. Nearly there. Okay, let's just chuck our feathers there, because I'm just thinking if I have a bluebird it mightn't be the right colour either. Does not matter. Okay, we'll put those pinks down at some point. Have I got a pin? Oh, I've got that there. I've decided them too floppy. Okay, let's play, before we go, with some ideas about birds. Let's use my bulb as a test. Let's close this. What other things did I have in here? got a butterfly that I showed you ages ago. Looks like belongs up there. I think an egg is too literal for me, whereas a feather feels fine. I'm going to I love doing that. It makes me feel like I'm making my paper journals, which I'm longing to do. Probably using the wrong scissors, Kate, but I just had an idea, you see. It's naughty. Choose the right scissors. This is a willy wagtail, we call them here, I think. Is that right? Do these birds fit in the nest? Yes, they do. Yep. Can you guess what I'm going to do? Because I don't quite know, but I'm willing to try something wild with you. Again, I'm fussy cutting. I have my beautiful fussy cutting scissors with me. Okay, so this little birdie has to say goodbye to the blue birdie. Think of this as one. I'll think about that. But this one, let me take my bulb out, I think is imperfect dimensions. And I'm leaving that on for the moment. Okay, what is Kate going to do? She hasn't got everything she needs here. And how long is the video? I think I might actually leave you guessing because I need a few other bits that I haven't brought down. So, and let's face it, this won't be the last time you see me today. So, quick recap. Field notes, natural colours, opening up to spring bulbs. It really is spring and bulbs, I've decided. Some people, you know, I think in my first one I did spring and then I did bulbs, but that's going to become spring and bulbs at once. This is spring and nest, and the garden is growing. And here's my little number that came out from somewhere else. Okay, so that's it. I'm just not even going to pack up everything because I'm going to be down here for a while, and who knows, I might even pop up with an update in whatever I do else today. So just for now, have a happy day. Sending blessings. Until next time, this is Kate in the Nest, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye.